Hello friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel Best Online Medical Lectures. Today we'll study about the endocrine pancreas. In particular, one of the important hormone of the endocrine pancreas, that is the insulin. So insulin is very important and it is related to one of the commonest endocrine disorder, that is diabetes mellitus. How insulin is related to diabetes mellitus, what is its action, how it is synthesized, how it is secreted, what is its chemical structure. Today we are going to discuss in detail about this very important hormone insulin. Okay, so before going to in detail about the hormone insulin, let's see from where it is secreted. So in our abdomen there is one important organ known as pancreas. So this pancreas serves both endocrine as well as exocrine functions. So the exocrine function of the pancreas is studied in the gastrointestinal system. So basically it consists of the acinar cells. Okay, it consists of the acinar cells. So these acini ultimately they join into the pancreatic duct. Okay, and this pancreatic duct will open into the small intestine, it is duodenum, and this will secrete the pancreatic juice, okay, which helps in digestion and absorption of the various nutrients. Okay, so this is the exocrine part of the pancreas. Now there are certain cells. So these cells which constitute the endocrine part of the pancreas, so around 1 to 2 million such group of cells are present. So that 1 million to 2 million cells in a pancreas of a human body, that are termed as islets of Langerhans. Islets of Langerhans. So named after the scientist Paul Langerhans, who discovered this in the year 1869. So around 1 million means around 10 lakh. So just 1 to 2 million cells will be there in the pancreas itself, and more in the tail region. Okay, so more in the tail region. So today we'll concentrate on this endocrine part rather than this exocrine part. So this endocrine islets of Langerhans, mostly in the tail but scattered throughout the pancreas. Okay, so we'll try to know the structure of this islets of Langerhans. So if out of this 1 to 2 million islets of Langerhans, if we enlarge one islet of Langerhans and see under a microscope, how does it looks? Okay, if we try to enlarge and see, how does it look? So I'm drawing a diagram of or the histological structure of the islets of Langerhans. So this is one islets of Langerhans. It will constitute around 2000 to 2500 cells. So what are the cells which are present in this islets of Langerhans? So at the center of this islets of Langerhans, there are cells present. Around 70% of this mass of this islet of Langerhans is made up of this type of cells, which is located in the center of the cells. So these cells, which constitute around 70% of the mass of the islets of Langerhans, these are known as beta cells or simply B cells. Okay, so this will constitute around 70% of the mass of the islets of Langerhans. So these cells, so these beta cells which are situated basically in the center of the cell, they secrete very important hormone, that is insulin. So today we are going to study in detail about this hormone insulin. So apart from the insulin, it also secretes one more chemical or a hormone known as amylin. Then along with that, it also secretes one more chemical known as C-peptide. So this C-peptide and insulin are secreted in equimolar amount. Equimolar amount means the same amount of the insulin as well as C-peptide are secreted from this beta cell into the bloodstream. We'll discuss in detail about that also. Also proinsulin. Okay, but this is the most important: insulin, amylin and C-peptide. Okay, but the major hormone is insulin, beta cells. Now in this beta cell only, at the periphery there are cells, these cells are known as alpha cells. So these cells at the periphery are known as alpha cells. So these alpha cells, which constitute around 20% of the mass, okay, alpha cells or A cells, which will approximately around 20% of the mass of the islets of Langerhans. So this alpha cells will secrete an important hormone known as glucagon. So the main function of this glucagon is to increase the blood sugar level, and insulin is to decrease the blood sugar level. We will, however, discuss in detail how exactly it functions. Right now, just try to concentrate the cells. Okay. So at the periphery, around 20% of the cells are alpha cells. Okay, and at the center, that is around 70% of the cells is made up of these beta cells. Then apart from these two cells, there are other cells present. So the other cells which are present here, so just around 10% of the cells which are scattered at the periphery as well as at the center, approximately or less than 10% of the cells. So these cells are known as delta cells or simply the D cells, which will be less than 10% of the total mass of the islets of Langerhans. So these delta cells or these D cells, they secrete a very important hormone known as somatostatin. So this somatostatin is usually a inhibitory hormone. It will inhibit the secretion of glucagon as well as insulin. Okay. So this is the third type of the cell. First was beta cell, then alpha cell, then somatostatin. Then finally there is one more type of cell which is just present in less than 5% of the total mass of this islets of Langerhans. Again, it is a scattered cell. So this cell, it is known as PP cells or simply the F cells. So it will be less than 5% and it will secrete one very important hormone known as pancreatic polypeptide. Pancreatic polypeptide. I hope now the cells of the islets of Langerhans is clear. Just let me revise you the basic four types of the cells which are present in the islets of Langerhans. First is the beta cell, which will secrete insulin, amylin and C peptide. Then at the periphery there is alpha cells which will secrete the glucagon. Then scattered cells, delta cell, which will secrete the somatostatin. And finally the pancreatic polypeptide or F cells, that is PP cells, that will secrete pancreatic polypeptide. Now apart from these four cells, now in newer cells are also recognized, a fifth type of the cells which are present for less than 1% of the islets of Langerhans, and that cells are known as epsilon cells. Epsilon cells. Okay, so they secrete a very important hormone known as ghrelin. So it is concerned with the hunger. Okay, it is concerned with the hunger. Okay, it is just less than 1% mass, less than 1% of the mass. So it is a newer epsilon cells which will secrete the hormone ghrelin. So basically there are 5 types of the cells. Earlier we were knowing only the 4 types of these cells from the islets of Langerhans. The newer one is the epsilon cells which will secrete a very important hormone ghrelin. Okay, this can be asked in your PG NEET examination, that is after MBBS there is a PG NEET examination for MD and MS admission. So this has been asked. Epsilon cells are secreted from islets of Langerhans. It will secrete a hormone ghrelin. Okay, so this is the very much basics about the islets of Langerhans. I hope it is very much clear to you. So after knowing this basics of islets of Langerhans and the cells secreted by the various hormones secreted by these various cells of the islets of Langerhans. So these are endocrine glands. Endocrine glands are the ductless glands and they will directly secrete their secretion into the bloodstream. That is, beta cells will secrete insulin to the bloodstream from the pancreas, and Alpha cells will secrete the glucagon, so and so on. So there is a strategic arrangement of the blood supply also. So if we consider the islet of Langerhans, the blood supply that is arterial, which is supplying, it will first supply at the center where the beta cells are located, okay, and from here, from the center, capillaries will continue, and these capillaries are having the fenestrated epithelium known as fenestrated capillaries, okay, and from here the venules originate, and these venules will ultimately drain into the portal veins or portal circulation to the liver. So this is the blood supply. So the clinical significance here is the blood enters into the center where the beta cells are situated. So these beta cells will secrete the insulin, and this insulin, with the help of these capillaries, will go to the peripheral cells, that is the alpha cells, and it will act on the alpha cells. So this type of effect, it is known as paracrine effect, that is insulin will act at say neighboring cells, okay. So this is the blood supply. So these are the very basic functional anatomy and the histological structure of the islets of Langerhans. Now after knowing that, come to our main topic, insulin, that is beta cell secrete very important hormone, insulin. So what is the chemical structure of the insulin, and how it is secreted from these beta cells? Now we are going to discuss in detail about this thing. So before that, let us first see the chemical structure of a insulin. So chemically insulin, this hormone insulin, which is secreted from the beta cell, it is a polypeptide made up of 51 amino acids. That is, it is a chain of a polypeptide made up of 51 amino acids. So it has basically two chains, A chain and B chain. So the A chain consists of the 21 amino acids and B chain has 30 amino acids. So totally 51 amino acids. So it is a polypeptide nature, okay. So but before the synthesis, before this insulin is synthesized, it is in a premature state, and the first molecule, it is synthesized as, just consider this a rough diagram, as pre-proinsulin. Okay, then this pre-proinsulin gets converted into proinsulin. I'll just explain you what is this pre-proinsulin and proinsulin, and this proinsulin finally matures into this alpha and beta chain, and along with that C peptide, okay, alpha and beta chain, and along with that the C peptide or the connecting peptide. Okay, what is that? I will just try to show you. So here this pre-proinsulin, again it is just a amino acid polypeptide. So insulin, proper insulin will have 51 amino acid. This will roughly, it's a larger molecule having around 108 amino acids, okay. So what exactly this consists of? So this consists of the initial segment. So this chain, this part it is known as initial segment or sequence starter, initial segment, sequence initiator or initial segment, okay. So this consists of some amount of the amino acids, initial segment. Then it has the beta chain of 30 amino acids. So consider this as the beta chain, okay, beta chain, this is initial segment, beta chain, okay. Then it also has the alpha chain, that is, it consists of the 21 amino acids. So that is the A chain, beta chain means B chain, and this is A chain. So this pre-proinsulin molecule, which is the precursor molecule, it consists of the initial segment, A chain and B chain, okay, A chain and B chain, and this A and B chain, which is a polypeptide molecule, which is connected by a C-shaped structure, This C-shaped structure, it is known as connecting peptide or C peptide, okay, connecting peptide or C peptide. That is, before the synthesis of the proper insulin molecule of 51 amino acid, it is present in this immature chemical structure which is known as pre-proinsulin. So this pre-proinsulin consists of the initial segment, then the A chain, B chain, and this A and B chain are connected by a C-like polypeptide that is known as C-peptide. Okay. Now, during the development or the synthesis of the insulin, this initial segment cuts off. Initial segment gets cuts off, and what is remaining here in the proinsulin molecule is this B chain. So B chain and A chain, B chain and A chain, and this connecting peptide, B chain, A chain, and this connecting peptide, that is the C peptide. Okay, so this proinsulin molecule does not have this initial segment. Okay, and further in this proinsulin molecule there are disulfide bonds. There are disulfide bond in between two disulfide bonds in between the A and B chain, and one more in between the A chain itself, amino acids of A chain itself. Okay, intra disulfide bond between A and B chain, and intra and inter disulfide bonds. Okay, so this molecule is known as proinsulin. Proinsulin is almost the similar molecule with the like pre-proinsulin, but only difference is there is no polypeptide of amino acid chains of initial segment. Now finally the mature insulin molecule which consists of the A chain and the B chain. So this B chain consisting of 30 amino acids, and this A chain consisting of the 21 amino acids, and both are connected by the disulfide bond, and A chain further there is one more disulfide bond. So this molecule is further cut, proinsulin, and this structure it is known as insulin. A chain, B chain, and both are connected by the disulfide bond, and this remaining C peptide, this remaining segment, it is known as C peptide. So you can just remember A, B and C. Okay, now let us consider one single beta cell. And how this insulin is synthesized and secreted from a beta cell. Okay, so I'm going to draw a beta cell now. So from this islets of Langerhans, this one beta cell, we'll try to draw a beta cell and try to study how this chemical structure insulin, it is synthesized and secreted from this beta cell, and some related physiological points we'll try to understand. Okay, so consider this as a beta cell of the islets of Langerhans. Okay, consider this as beta cells of islets of Langerhans. Okay, consider this as beta cell of islets of Langerhans. One cell. Okay, so as a cell it will have the various cell organelles of a cell, like nucleus, then endoplasmic reticulum, like any cell, a typical cell, nucleus, endoplasmic reticulum, then Golgi apparatus. Okay, so it's a beta cell. What is this? Beta cell. So what is the function of the beta cells of the islets of Langerhans? It will secrete a very important hormone known as insulin. Okay, so this beta cell will ultimately secrete this polypeptide insulin. So how it will secrete that, we are going to discuss now. So in the beta cell, on the chromosome number 11, short arm of the chromosome number 11, there is a gene for the synthesis of the insulin. That is, this gene will send message to the DNA molecule, of beta cell. Okay, so DNA molecule of the beta cell to synthesize this polypeptide. So the first step is the transcription process, that is formation of the mRNA from the DNA. Okay, so a mRNA is formed. A mRNA is formed from this. So the message is gone, and from this DNA a mRNA is formed, and it will come out from the nucleus, and it will come into the cytoplasm. So from the chromosome number 11 there is a gene which will code for this synthesis of mRNA, this process of transcription. That is the first step. Okay, now this mRNA will combine with the cytoplasmic ribosomes. Okay, it will combine with the cytoplasmic ribosomes. So ribosomes is a site of the protein synthesis. Then the second step of the translation step starts. That is, this ribosomes, when this mRNA combines with the ribosomes in this cytoplasm, what happens is this ribosome will start producing one protein, polypeptides. Protein synthesis takes place. Okay, and that protein which is synthesized here is this initial segment protein. Okay, now this ribosome molecule will bind to the endoplasmic reticulum. So when the ribosome molecule binds, it will be rough endoplasmic reticulum, and this initial segment, a protein amino acid chain, okay, a peptide chain, it gets entered into endoplasmic reticulum. This is endoplasmic reticulum, it is more specifically rough endoplasmic reticulum. Okay, now further so many ribosomes molecule will combine to this endoplasmic reticulum, and they synthesize the protein which will ultimately enter this endoplasmic reticulum. And in this endoplasmic reticulum, this chain, that is this initial segment chain, will increase. So this will, now it will increase and it will get folded, and typical structure of this pre-pro-insulin molecule is synthesized. So from this nucleus, gene encodes for the production of the protein, and one polypeptide, this chemical pre-pro-insulin, which consists of the initial segment, A chain, B chain, and the connecting peptide, it is present here. Okay, in the endoplasmic reticulum, ultimately so many such pre-pro-insulins are synthesized. Now in this endoplasmic reticulum, there is one enzyme known as endopeptidases. This enzyme known as endopeptidases. So what this endopeptidases will do is they will cut this or digest this peptide bonds. Okay, so what they will do is they will remove this initial segment. And this pre-pro-insulin gets converted to pro-insulin molecule. So this pre-pro-insulin gets digested, it's become now pro-insulin molecule. So if you remember, pro-insulin molecule consists of A chain, B chain, and the connecting C peptide. Okay, so it will have A chain, B chain, and the connecting C peptide. So there is removal of the initial segment, and this will develop disulfide bonds between A and B chain. So this molecule is now removed out from this endoplasmic reticulum of the beta cells in the form of the vesicles. So this vesicles comes out, and it consists of the pro-insulin. Okay, pre-pro-insulin is for synthesized, and pre-pro-insulin, due to the presence of the enzyme endopeptidases, this initial segment is removed. Now there is pro-insulin, it is present. Okay, pro-insulin consists of A chain, B chain, and the connecting peptide along with the disulfide bond. Okay, now these vesicles will attach to the one more structure known as Golgi apparatus. The proteins are processed here. Okay, so they will enter here, Golgi apparatus. So here it consists of the A chain, B chain, and the C chain, that is the pro-insulin molecule. So in the Golgi apparatus, there is one more enzyme. Again it is an peptidase, that is endopeptidase. So again it will break the A chain, B chain insulin molecule and the connecting peptide. So in the Golgi apparatus, the proper insulin molecule which consists of the A chain, B chain connected by the disulfide bonds and C peptide are broken down. Okay, now this broken down, again they will come out in the vesicle. So in the vesicle there is a proper insulin molecule along with C peptide. Okay, proper insulin molecule along with the C peptide. So insulin molecule basically consists of A chain, B chain and the C peptide. So A chain and B chain connected with the disulfide bond and C peptide will be there, and in this cytoplasm they are situated in the vesicles with the in association with very important molecule known as zinc, Zn zinc. Okay, zinc molecule. So they are, this one zinc molecule will attach the 6 insulin molecule, that is they appear as hexamer, one of the NEET PG question. So zinc insulin molecules are attached with this zinc molecule and they are situated in the hexamer. Okay, so whenever there is a stimulus to the beta cell, this insulin molecule comes out and secreted out by the process of exocytosis. Insulin comes out into the blood vessel. So this is how the insulin is synthesized. Now how exactly it is secreted, what is the stimulus for the insulin to get secreted from the beta cells, we are going to discuss now. So again consider this is a beta cell only. So we till now we have discussed this. It is synthesized and these insulin molecules are present in the insulin molecules are present as vesicles which are incorporated in the zinc. Okay, which are incorporated in the zinc molecule. Okay, so along with zinc these insulin molecules will be present as hexamers. Okay, so the important stimulus for the secretion of the insulin from the beta cell is glucose. So the important is glucose. Okay, so in the next video we'll discuss how glucose will enter into the beta cell and how it will lead to the secretion of the insulin in detail. We'll try to understand in the next video. Okay, so please subscribe our channel and try to like our channel and and give positive suggestion how to improve it, and wait for our next video. So how exactly this glucose will stimulate the release of insulin from these vesicles and what are the drugs which will act on the beta cells, we will try to discuss. Okay, thank you very much.